Alrighty boys, welcome back to another step-by-step video. Now today's video is going to be on mute. Now in today's video, instead of going right into a clip right away, I wanted to actually get into more like angle or techie stuff right off the rip instead this time around. And the first thing I wanted to show you guys was this little techie angle that you guys could do over on Villa, where you make a hole underneath the bathroom window when you're playing the dining kitchen bomb site, and you pretty much just hold it from below using mute. And I think this is a really important concept to think about whenever you're playing mute, is that you should always aim to be making these weird holes or angles whenever you have a shotgun. And this doesn't just apply to mute, this also applies to a lot of other operators as well. Anybody that has access to a shotgun, you want to be creating little angles like this that you can use to get yourself free kills. And I feel like stuff like this with mute is especially even more like caught off guard, you know what I mean? Just because of the nature of the operator. A lot of people tend to play mute as like an operator where you play with like the shotgun, or you play with the SMG-11 and like close range. A lot of people won't expect you to make these weird off angles where you go for like nitro cells off rip, or you go for little peek holes through the vertical to get yourself a free kill like from below, like how I showed earlier. Or even like when you stand up on top of like a desk or something, and then you make like a hole in like a soft wall that's not reinforced, or maybe there's a rotate hole next to it, and then you use that hole that you make for a shotgun as like a off angle that you can use later on in the round to get yourself potential free kills. That's going to be like something that I feel like a lot of people who are aiming to play mute as like a main should really know about. Is like you should be trying to make use of every part of their kit, you know what I mean? Try to make use of that nitro cell, try to make use of the shotgun to make off angles, use the mute jammers obviously to deny drones or deny utility. Try to think outside of the box a little bit when you're playing these operators. Don't just copy what everybody else is doing with these operators, because that's not how you're going to get better, you know what I mean? You're going to get better by finding the things that work the best for you know what I mean? But to get us started here in our first clip of the day here, boys, we're going to be over on Lair. We're playing mute like usual. We're using our mute jammers to deny drones, denying walls. Whenever we don't have like a bandit on the board, we want to use our mute jammers to deny walls. If we think it's a wall that is good to use a mute jammer on, like missile, for example, in this first clip is a very good wall to put your mute jammer on if you don't have access to a bandit. Now right here, what's ended up happening is one of my teammates, one of mine in particular here, is playing in warehouse. He's playing solo in warehouse, which is kind of iffy because there's not really a good way for me to refrag him in this position. The position my teammate's playing in is not very easy for me to refrag onto, basically, and he also is able to get pinched very easily in this position. I start getting audio to start pushing barrels in this position, so we're going to swing through lockers here and try to look to see if I can stop that from happening. I'm not able to stop it from happening, but I am going to go ahead and get myself a refrag. There is one other guy that was inside of warehouse in this position, so we're going to go ahead and play shotgun, run back over to missile here after killing the thermite, and we're just going to go ahead and play here, wait for a little bit of audio. We're going to swing aggressively. We're going to end up actually killing somebody right here on the shotgun swing. He ends up dying to the Goyle fire after I go ahead and injure him with the shotgun swing. And then right here, we're going to go ahead and just going to hold this little line of sight here. This is a really good line of sight, by the way. We're going to end up actually injuring a blitz when he walks up for lockers here, and then someone's going to try to swing to like protect him, but I'm going to go ahead and swing aggressively to expect him to look for the refrag, if that makes sense, and get myself an easy kill for him. Right here, we're going to try to go for a C4 to try to look for the injure, not get it, but we're going to go ahead and swing aggressively for the last guy on an Eagle challenge, which I probably shouldn't have done the Eagle challenge, but we do end up hitting the Eagle challenge right there and securing the round on the, I want to say that was an ace, or I want to say it was a 4K. Next up, we're going to be over on Oregon here, guys. It's very important to understand that when you're playing mute, and I say this in all of my mute step-by-step videos, is that you want to be focused on site setup for the most part when you are playing mute. Use your mute jammers in places that have value. And the other thing is to make a lot of line of sights, head holes, rotates, whatever you can do to make your bomb size stronger. That's the important thing, is you want to make the bomb size stronger. Now, one thing I like to go for whenever I play Oregon is I like to go for a little nitro play, where I hold my nitro, pre-rip it in my hand, and I'm waiting for audio inside of trophy. And the idea with this nitro cell is that I can't really go for it if my team is playing really aggressively for main here, and I see my teammates are playing main, so I'm going to go ahead and just rotate over to try to fill a little bit of the gap in this position, if that makes sense. The main wall is not reinforced in this position, which is kind of awkward, but that doesn't really matter in this position, because what's going to end up happening, it's going to turn into a 2v3 position here in a second. One of my teammates is going to go ahead and get injured here. I do get a little bit of audio of somebody trying to breach charge into Attic here, so we're going to swing aggressively and get ourselves a free kill for Ash. One of my teammates is down on the trophy door. We're going to go ahead and run over and try to look for the revive It's kind of funny. Me and my teammate both tried to look for the revive in this position. But that's okay. We do end up getting our teammate alive and putting us into a nice 3v2 position here. The idea here is that I'm just going to keep focusing on playing Attic in this position because the enemy team is going to have to go through Trophy or White in this position, or Attic. Technically, they could try to jump in the window, but if I'm playing in this position, I'll most likely get audio for any of those type of plays. And if I don't get audio for like White side in this position, at least my will. So we'll always have some kind of play in this position to be able to win, as long as I play in this general location around Attic or kids rotate holes. For context, I'm going to get audio of somebody being outside on the master balcony, so I go ahead and swing aggressively through Trophy here to potentially look for a cross position with my Legion that's playing inside the closet. Unfortunately, that guy on master balcony is not going to be easily challenged, if that makes sense. He's just going to kind of sit there, so I'm going to go ahead and actually drop the kitchen hatch in this position. The reason why I do this is because I get audio of somebody being on White, so I figured this would be an easy way for me to get a free kill on that guy playing for White, because he's probably going to be looking for a refrag opportunity after my teammate goes ahead and dies to him on White. The last guy, like I said, was on the master balcony. He ended up walking in and killing my Legion in this position. I'm going to rotate away from the White head holes in this position and go back to the Attic shield. I'm going to go ahead and try to kill the guy while he is on the Trophy doorway. Unfortunately, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to end up whiffing, but I'm going to go ahead and swing aggressively with my shotgun. He's going to end up rotating back, which is going to actually give me an opportunity to swing him aggressively in this position using the shotgun, because in these type of positions with a shotgun, you're not really going to lose as long as you're able to get most of your pellets on his body to basically secure the kill. Next up, we're going to be over on the meeting bomb site, and long story short with this one, I typically will play mute on this bomb site, and I tend to make like all of the rotate holes and everything inside a site. Like I said in my other step-by-step videos, if I don't have a bandit on the board, I'm probably going to use my mute chambers on the main wall. You could technically leave these dry with no mute chamber on them and put the mute chambers on doorways instead. The ones by the split double door, I do like to put mute chambers there because I feel like it kind of acts as like a entry denial drone mute chamber, as well as being a mute chamber that denies the walls as well, which is really important on this map as well. And the other thing we're going to be doing here is we're going to put a mute chamber on the kitchen wall as well. In this position, we're going to open up the hatch. The reason why we open up the hatch is because some of my teammates are going to be playing up on vertical in this position, and we're basically going to be trying to set it up where we can play inside a site in this position and basically like hold from below, if that makes sense. So we're making vert from below for the big window in this position. Remember what I said earlier, when you have the shotgun, you want to be prepping the bomb site, you want to be putting your mute chambers in places that is useful, you want to be looking for opportunities where you can get yourself free kills from below or on off angles that people won't expect. Maybe even potentially use your nitro cell from below in these type of rounds to get free kills in an enemy team. You know, there's a lot of different options to go about it when you are playing an anchor inside a site, especially with like a very like strong vertical presence that the enemy team could have on these type of rounds. Because long story short, right here, we're actually going to start getting audio of somebody actually entering in through White, and he's going to actually end up making a little bit of vertical on me in this position. However, what is going to end up happening here is I'm going to get audio of a wub that's on the big window. So we're going to go ahead and toss our nitro cell up towards the big window, get ourselves a very easy kill on the Ash that jumped in, I assume big window, or he walked up White stairs in this round. And long story short, it's a very easy kill for us in this position. All we have to do now is kind of just chill. We just got to make sure we don't die to vertical presence in this position. So we're going to go ahead and just chill inside of security here, and we're just going to be waiting to see what the next move is going to be for the enemy team. We're going to peek through the vert a little bit just to see what's going to go down. They do open up the kitchen wall in this position, so we're going to go ahead and see the enemy team trying to make an execute onto our setup here soon. And they're going to go ahead and actually open up my kitchen security doorway right here, but they're going to go ahead and swing back around to dining. And the guy that killed my teammate is actually going to walk into site to try to look for a default plant. He doesn't know that I'm in security though, so I'm going to get myself an easy kill into him, swinging through the head holes. Then we're going to go ahead and swing again, and we're going to end up catching somebody that was trying to look for the refrag, but he didn't expect me to like already be expecting him to look for the refrag, so I get myself a free kill. We get audio from one of our teammates that the last guy is on the kitchen doorway. I end up swinging him with my shotgun. Unfortunately, I'm not able to finish him, but we're going to swing around to the rotate hole and meeting, and then swing him on stage here because he's going to try to predict what I'm going to do, and I predict that he'll know that what I'm going to try to do, so I swing a little bit earlier than what he expects and get myself a free kill on that knock to secure the round. Now this next clip was going to be actually on a coastline here. Now I'm going to skip through most of the prep phase in this round because long story short, it doesn't really matter what I did for prep phase in this round because I ends up turning into a 2v5. I'm going to go ahead and toss a nitro cell down on the Hall of Fame doorway upstairs and end up getting myself a free kill on Fuse as well as 2 other people. And I wanted to show you guys this nitro cell because I do feel like it's an interesting nitro cell to know about. And with that one nitro cell, I actually killed all 3 of the people that were on vertical in this position. My Wamai is actually going to end up rotating back down. He was originally trying to fight those 3 people on vertical, and this is important to note because that means the enemy team is going to try to jump in before he gets back to site. So we're going to go ahead and look for at least one more pick before we go ahead and retreat back to safety. We're going to go ahead and kill a Finka that walks into the kitchen door, and Maya is going to go ahead and kill the last guy in this position to secure the round. I hope you guys enjoyed today's step-by-step video. Please make sure to like and subscribe.